I threw to Ferran Torres because obviously the story broke. We're going to talk later about how Barcelona may or may not afford it. I think there's still a lot of stuff that we don't know. But just purely from the City perspective, I touched upon this with Jules the other day, but I'm looking at the numbers, right? City obviously have a very deep squad in terms of talent, but the numbers still are what they are. There is a 25-man squad in the Premier League. Obviously, Benjamin Mendy's not there, so you're down one there. And now with Ferran Torres going as well, we hear stories of City's academy, but so far this season, the only one who's played any sort of semi-significant first team minutes is Cole Palmer. I take it as read that Ferran Torres is really going to move in January. If Pep really believes that Barcelona are somehow going to be able to register him in January, doesn't that imply that he's going to bring in another body? Why would you leave yourself a man down? Especially if you're willing, as we saw, to go and put Grealish and Foden on the naughty step from time to time.
I think in some ways that naughty step situation does show the depth that they have, because for Grealish being a £100 million player and for Foden being one of the best players in that team and in the league, the fact that they can drop those two and still go out and be winning games does show that they do have depth there. This is with other players missing as well. So I don't know. I don't think they'll bring somebody in. I don't think, but I'm not sure, because this move, it almost feels like, I don't know, I could be wrong, but it feels like an emotional one for Torres himself, because he's a young player, like he's 21 years of age, I think he is.
21, 22, yeah, he's there.
If that, so he is young, and the time he spent in Manchester and in England has been during the pandemic essentially, and you kind of wonder, has he fully settled into life here? And the thing that he settled into, is it what he was hoping it would be, especially to not be playing week in, week out. So even though Barcelona are in a very interesting situation in terms of their history right now, I'm guessing for a Spaniard, a young Spaniard playing abroad, the chance to go and be playing for that club is still quite significant.
I get why Torres would want to go back to Spain. I don't. Barcelona, Manchester. But
well,
I
know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
No, but from City's perspective, right? If you were City, if you were Cheeky, right? Do you think we're now down a body? I know he's been injured, but obviously it's better to have your full complement of options, because you don't know what's going to happen. Kevin De Bruyne's injury record isn't great. If somebody else breaks down, do you know what I'm saying? Like, Grealish decides to go and I know
what you're saying, but when you think about the role,
so you wouldn't bring somebody else in.
I think when you think about the role that Ferran Torres has had for Man City this season so far, like he started the first few games, that's because so many people weren't ready to be
and scored a ton of goals.
Yeah, I agree, but lots of people weren't ready at that time. I think when you look at it now, the role that he has is somebody who can play, not necessarily somebody who does play. And for a can play, would you go out in January to find somebody who can play, or would you hope that maybe Cole Palmer will be able to step up and essentially be able to be that extra body in there at that time? Because Ferran Torres at the moment, for City, in my opinion, isn't a go-to starter. And I think if everybody was available, he might not be second choice in most positions.
Yeah, I disagree. I think it's an absolute no-brainer
to bring someone in.
Yeah, no question.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.